Hey my friends, welcome back. It's Deb from Bowl Me Over. I'm so glad you joined me today. Thanks for coming into my kitchen. We're doing the 12 Days of Christmas series, and boy, we've had some good treats up to this point. And today I have another nice one for you. Super special, and the kids are gonna love it. It's a Grinch cupcake. These are easy to make, and it all starts with a cake mix. Though the recipe on the blog has you using red velvet, you can really use whatever type cake mix you prefer. And I thought since we've done so much chocolate, we're gonna use a white cake mix today. So to start off, we're going to make our cupcakes and freeze them. If you freeze them for a day, they'll actually be a lot easier to frost. So that's just a good tip for you to know. It's a great make ahead recipe. But let's start by making our cupcakes. For that, we're gonna need everything you need on the back of the box. So in this case, it's the cake mix, water, oil, and eggs. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we need to do is make our cupcakes. I do have the oven preheating to 350. That's the instructions on the back of the box. And so we're gonna start by putting our cake mix in our bowl, the easy part. And notice I'm wearing black today, so hopefully I don't wear too much of this by the time we're done. And into the bowl goes water, oil, and eggs. So let's get started. So water. And next goes the oil. And then we're going to crack the eggs. I always crack them into another bowl. Actually, I'm going to use this a little bit bigger. And that way I know I'm not getting any shells in it. Now, because this is a white cake mix, I probably should be taking the yolk out. I'm not going to, but I am going to put 3 eggs in it. It would stay white if you kept it. It's going to look a little more yellow with the yolks. Okay. And let's get started. When you beat the batter for the cake mix, what I like to do is kind of start to get everything incorporated and then add the eggs one at a time to make sure that they're mixed in well. So let's get started. Gonna start this off on low. So hopefully I'm not wearing a bunch of it. And then increase the heat, increase the speed as we go. I want to make sure I'm scraping the sides of the bowl. All right, so now I'm going to add the eggs one at a time. Okay, wonderful. Now, if you follow your cake mix, it's usually going to tell you to beat this for about 2 minutes until it's smooth, but not to overbeat it. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, I took a minute and I just cleaned up my workspace a little bit, and we're going to portion out the cupcakes. A 1/4 cup is usually pretty close to what you need. I'm going to get a smaller spatula. It's just about what we're looking for as we put it in. Yeah, that's perfect. Another thing that works really well if you don't have a measuring cup handy, or like the smaller measuring cups like I do, would be a ice cream scoop, like the old-fashioned ice cream scoop that you know, kind of to get the ice cream out. Those are just the perfect size. I swear I had 3 of those, and apparently none of them made it in the move to Oregon, so I have no idea where they disappeared to. You want to fill them just over halfway full, and that'll equate to about 24 cupcakes. Sometimes I do better, sometimes we end up with 18. It is what it is. But I'm specifically trying to make 24 today. So I'm going to fill up the rest of these. So just hang tight. It'll just take a moment. The reason you don't want to fill them all the way to the top, and if you've baked a lot of cupcakes, you know this, but if you don't, it's because it'll just overflow. And if we fill them about just over halfway, it's almost the perfect height when it goes to time to frost them. So into the oven they go. Bake according to package directions. Mine is 18 to 22 minutes. I'm setting my timer for 20. We'll be back in a few. Okay, so we have this fabulous lime green frosting. Don't you love that color? I have my piping bag. I'll show you one of the tricks that I use when I'm doing a lot of baking. These things are not the easiest to fill. And so what I do is I put the tip down into a glass and push my hand in it to open it up, and then just pull the rest of it down over the sides. And that makes it so much easier to fill it, because it can be the stickiest mess you've ever seen. Okay, and last time when I did this, I'll tell you what the number is on this. It's called Bright Green Vert, V-E-R-T-V-I-F, bright green. So there we go. Okay. Didn't shut my refrigerator. Okay, so if you don't have a piping bag, don't worry. Just use a gallon size Ziploc bag and just trim off just the tip of it. Because what we want is we're just going to put a big dollop of frosting in the middle of each cupcake. So hang tight. Let's get this thing filled. There we go. Maybe a little bit more. It's not going to take that much to do this. So then as you bring the side up, just try not to get too much of it on your fingers like I did. And before somebody chews me out for licking my finger, I just not invite you over for a cupcake. So it's all good. Okay, so do you see as I'm twisting, it's pushing the frosting down towards the bottom? It's exactly what we want. So again, a big dollop in the center of each cupcake. And as I use up the frosting, I'm just twisting the frosting bag. And again, just a big dollop in each one. Wonderful. The last two here didn't have quite as much batter, so they just get a little more frosting. Okay, also works great to hold your frosting bag. So the next step, and this is just like silly easy, all we're gonna do is invert our cupcakes onto the parchment paper, and I'm gonna press them down lightly. I just wanna spread out the frosting, just like that. Wonderful. I think he needs a little more. There we go. Just like that. Super easy. Aren't these fun though? I just think they're adorable. Now the trick is when you're done is to not to try to peel them off right away. I'm gonna actually pop this in the refrigerator for 15 minutes. And that's gonna freeze them enough, not the refrigerator, the freezer, for 15 minutes. And that's gonna freeze them enough to keep them solid. And when I easily peel off the parchment, the top of it is gonna be nice and smooth. So I'll see you in about 15 minutes. Okay guys, we're back. Let's finish up these Grinch cupcakes. They've been in the freezer for 15 minutes, and all that did is firm up that frosting to make them super easy to peel off. Isn't it perfect? That way you don't have to have like super mad piping skills or decorating skills. And they are just adorable. They got that Grinch green going. I love it. These would be perfect for a bake sale to take to school for the kids. Now on the blog when I did this, again I did red velvet, but you could use chocolate, you could use spice cake mix. And of course a Grinch cupcake has to have a heart on it because we all know his heart grew, right? So there you go. Oh my gosh, these are so adorable. I just think they're just the cutest. Big fan of the Grinch anyway. I will have to show you maybe on our last video, taking a little trip through the house because where most people have a Christmas village, mine is a Grinch village, so there's that. Dan started a collection for me and we've been getting something every year for the last couple of years, and I just think it's the funnest thing ever. Now, on the blog, when I did this on the blog, I drizzled some extra, like a darker green frosting over it, like a really, really light drizzle over it. You can, or today I'm not going to. Also on the blog, when you see it, I used an edible spray that gave them a super pretty glitter. That was adorable. So anyway, aren't these cute? Now I am actually taking them to a social. I'm not going to try them, but I guarantee you they are adorable and they are delicious. So I hope you give these a try. They'd be perfect on your cookie tray. Just a fun, silly, easy cupcake that you could do with your kids. And I love that part. So that's it for me today. I hope you join me tomorrow in our 12 days of Christmas and enjoy those sweets. We'll see you soon. Happy holidays.